Chairman, and let me follow up the witnesses on the chairman's line of thought, questioning. The thought that San Ysidro, one of the 9 ports that's not even being looked at in the plan, biggest probably border crossing in the world, massive. We've got fentanyl coming into this country, lives being lost. You can't get this technology out there. Miss Benedict, you talked about cost. Big Beautiful Bill has $170 billion, massive investment in this part of our government. Want to work with you to make sure that these non-intrusive technology, these marvels of technology, are put into place as quickly as possible. Ms. Sabatino, I'm concerned because the technology is still not implemented, yet it's my understanding that currently you've essentially reassigned or been asked to reassign some of your personnel from the border for ICE deportation enforcement in the interior of the United States. Is that correct?
We have assigned personnel to surge operations. That's not new or unique for us.
Yet, we continue to have this issue at the border. Okay, it's not unique to you, but I believe every agency at the federal level is reassigning the personnel for deportations away from their stated purpose. Is this correct?
I can say I'm familiar with the personnel that we have deployed. I don't know that I could speak for the other federal agencies.
Fair enough. If I can, your officers that you've essentially deployed to immigration enforcement, is this job different from stopping or apprehending people at ports of entry?
Again, when it comes to surging law enforcement support to our federal, state, or local partners, that is something that we plan for periods of time.
It was reported that the Border Patrol recently sent out a legal refresher on the use of force. Have you sent out something similar to your officers?
We do quarterly training with respect to use of force. We have done refresher training in First Amendment and Fourth Amendment rights. And again, that is not unique to any single deployment that is.
I have 2 minutes. But, you know, just hours after Jonathan Ross, ICE officer, shot Renee Nicole Good, Secretary of Homeland Security, Ms. Noem, stood at a podium and said, the officer did exactly what he was taught to do. So let me ask you, if I can, and if you have the answers, do you instruct officers to approach a vehicle from the front to prevent them from fleeing?
While I am familiar with the incident itself, I'm not familiar with exactly what happened and didn't really assess videos of that.
But in general, would you instruct your officers to approach a vehicle from the front to prevent it from fleeing?
The direction that officers are trained in is to approach in as safe a manner as possible.
Do you authorize officers to shoot at fleeing vehicles if they're not immediately in harm's way?
And in our use of force training, it is related to the threat that the individual themselves face or to the public.
Ms. Sabatino, within the refresher, it states that passive resistance alone is not conduct under 18 U.S.C. Section 111 to constitute federal crime, as long as there's no assault, resisting arrest, or impeding federal officers from doing their job. The Border Patrol, in their refresher course, stated that it is not a violation of Section 18.111. Non-compliance, refusal to cooperate with an officer's commands, disobeying commands without fighting back, and taking photographs or videotapes of an officer operating in public, again, does not constitute a crime. Have you sent out a similar refresher instructions to your officers?
Again, with respect to the use of force, it is something we do recurring training on.
But would you agree then that taking a photo, videotaping a person standing on the sidelines as situations are developing is not a violation of the law?
Again, our officers are trained to identify threats and take in the totality of circumstances, when it comes to threats to themselves or the public.
Thank you, Ms. Sabatino. I'm out of time, but I will ask you these questions again in writing, and I hope we can get clearer answers. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.